G'day folks, today I'm going trout fishing with barbless hooks. Hey you! You're watching Robbie Fishing. In a recent trout fishing video, I released the rainbow trout that I'd caught and it had a bit of damage to its lip. I had a bit of trouble unhooking the fish and it got a bit tangled, and as a result it suffered a bit of damage, and a few people saw that and raised a few concerns, and they suggested why don't I try fishing barblessly. I've been reluctant to do this because years ago I tried it and it didn't work very well. That was a different species, that was Murray cod fishing, and I am keen to try it on Murray cod again. But today I'm trying it on trout. I'm going to be going barbless fishing for trout with soft plastics. Now you may recognise this stream here today because I've fished here quite often on my channel. It's one of my favourite places to fish, but it's also the spot that's fishable at the moment. We've had so much rain that so many of the waterways are just completely written off right now as I stand here. This one here is usually the quickest to clear, and I know there's a lot of fish here, and even this is really high and off colour at the moment, and catching a fish on a soft plastic is going to be a challenge. Anyway, let's go and crimp the barbs on a jig head and see if we can hook a fish and see whether it gets off or not. Now this is a Strike Tiger micro minnow soft plastic on a Strike Tiger jig head. Now if you look at the hook, you'll see the end bit, the sharp point at the end, that's the point. Just back from the point, you'll see a little bit breaking up and sticking up, that's the barb. The barb is designed to stop the fish from getting off the hook. It's designed to prevent the hook from slipping out of the fish's mouth. Now, I'm going to get my pliers and I'm going to crimp that barb closed so that I'm effectively fishing barbless. Right, now I've got my pliers and I'm crimping the barb nice and flat. I'm squashing the barb, but I'm not squashing the hook. Right, so if you look there now, you'll see that the barb is pretty much gone. It's flattened right out, which means that if I hook a fish, and I land it, I should be able to just pull the hook straight out without any damage to the fish. It also increases the chance of the fish getting off. Let's just go and see if we can hook some fish in this high dirty water and just see how this works. Right, now this little micro minnow and tiny little jig head might get lost in here today with all the water. But anyway, I think that's the copper berry colour. I'm not sure. This jig head was already on there. I didn't put a new, this soft plastic was already on this jig head, so I'll start with it, whatever colour it is. I think it's copper berry. If that doesn't work, I might go to a darker colour in the hope that one of the blacks might silhouette against the sky. I might go to a nymph or something just a little bit larger that they might see, but I'll start with this first and just see how it goes. Got him. Oh, that was a strike. That was a definite strike. Wow, I must have had 8 or 9 casts in here already before that fish came out and hit that then. I didn't feel a lot of weight. So obviously the fish saw it in this murky water and he wanted it. That's a start. Took a lot of casts for him to see it, but oh, he hit it again. He hit it again. He's got off both times. Now that's been happening a lot this season, even with the barbs on the hooks. So there's no guarantee. I won't get a good indication of whether this barbless thing is working or not until I hook fish. Oh, see the big swirl. Oh, he hit it again. He's quite a decent sized trout. As the rain starts tumbling down. He's he's swiped at it again. So he's seen it nearly every cast, the last few casts. So isn't that amazing? Even in the dirty water, that's clearly obvious. And again, oh, I reckon he had that in his mouth then. Even in the dirty water, this fish is seeing this minnow. He probably thinks there's a whole plague of them out there. Oh, there's a swirl. Probably doesn't realise it's the same one. He probably thinks there's a whole heap of them out there. But will he come back and hook up properly? Didn't see in that cast. The fact that this fish hasn't hooked up I don't think it's anything to do with the jig head, with the barb being closed. I think it's more to do with the fish just not hitting it hard enough. Got him. Oh, he got off that time. I don't think I'll get him again now. I felt a fair bit of weight that time. I'm still not blaming the crimped barb though. I think that's Yeah, look, it didn't come back then. I'm still not blaming the crimped barb. Oh, got him now. Now, if I lose him now, I'll blame the barb. If I lose him now, I'll be blaming the barb because he's hooked. Let's let it jump around a bit and just see what happens. Deliberately, not deliberately trying to lose it, but deliberately giving this fish a bit of free rein here. I'm not putting any slack in the line. Because if I can prove to myself that barbless hooks don't lose trout, I'll be using them a lot more often with my soft plastic fishing. Look, he's not getting off. I think it's important to keep the line tight. They are. Now this should just slip straight out. Look, let's see. Look at that, there might still be a little bit of a lip on that barb, but not much. And that came straight out. Even in the dirty water, the trout has had no trouble seeing the soft plastic, and it hasn't come off even with the hook being barbed. I'll get a slow motion release. See you later, mate. Gone. Right, now it took quite a lot of goes. I'm just going to feel that barb. I can feel a tiny little lip, so I'd say it's the barb is. Oh no, I can't really feel anything on there. No, it's crushed. That's not gripping my finger at all when I run it past that barb there. There might be just a slight little bit of a lip on the back on that barb, but it's not enough to do any damage to the fish if there is. Successful so far. Used to be a big snag out in the middle of this tree. I might have just hit it then actually. Got him. A little one. He got off. Did you see that? I didn't give him any slack, but he got off. Was that because of the barb? Very interesting. You've got to remember, fish do get off. So it might have been because of the barb, or it might have just been a coincidence. Especially being such a small fish. Got him. Got him. Now, let's see if he gets off or not. Gee, he didn't hit it very hard. At first I said got him. I was just about to say, or is it a bit of grass? And then it took off. Don't get out the current there, mate. Alright. Lovely little rainbow. They're always so slippery. Right, now, first thing to check. He's actually hooked a bit deeper than the other one. It's actually hooked a bit deeper than normal, but that should pop out. Look at that. Now that was very impressive. That just popped straight out of there, no worries at all. Awesome. See if I can get some slow-mo footage again. Trout number 2. See you later, mate. Right, now I've caught 2 and lost 1 on a little micro minnow and a couple of other hits. Now, someone said to me the other day, it wouldn't be a Robbie fishing video without the warning of the wind noise that we never hear. I'm going to give you an audio warning now, but it's not about wind noise because I've got my Rode Wireless Go 2 microphone on, which means I should be able to eliminate the wind noise. But it's clipped under my chin and under the inside of my jumper, my jacket that I'm wearing. So it's near the strap of my bag. The strap could muffle the sound, but more importantly, when I look down like that, the audio often gets louder and more distorted. Sometimes if I look to the left or if I look over to the right, the audio can change a little bit. So the audio, good news, we shouldn't have too much wind noise, but we could have a few issues with fluctuating audio. Hopefully there's no issues and I don't have to share that scene. Look at this, trying to walk through this grass, and it's just waterlogged. This whole area is just waterlogged. Uh-oh. Snaggled. Snapped. As Holly would say, lol. You're not going to believe this. I've just got snagged and snapped it off, and I thought, I hope I've got my pliers to crimp the barb. Well, I'm pleased to say that I did bring my pliers, but I didn't bring my jig heads. The plastic container with my jig heads and stuff is in the car. I'm not overly worried about that, although I feel a bit goofy, because I'm going to go back to the car, tie a new jig head on, and then I might go upstream and see if I can find some clearer water and see how I go up there. Right, now I'm back at the car. Before I go upstream, I'm going to have a fish just next to the car. There's my jig head. I haven't crimped it yet, but I'm about to. I've gone to the starlight coloured nymph. The reason being, I've been seeing a lot of little black beetles around the streams lately, and they've got like a blue shine to them, and I just reckon that will mimic them. I haven't seen them on this creek, but I have seen them on other creeks, so I'll go to that, and if that doesn't work, I'll go back to what I was using, which was the Micro Minnow, and it is copper berry colour. I was right. And I know people are going to ask me what size jig head I'm using. It's 132 ounce with a size 6 hook. This is the smallest jig head Strike Tiger make. Right, I'll crimp the barb. Oh, and I've ripped the claws off the soft plastic just to make it nice and skinny and long, more to streamline, because that was working with the minnows and they don't have claws. So because that was working, I've got a similar shape but a bit bigger and a different colour. Barb be gone. Barbless fishing. Barbless fishing. Barbless fishing. Oh, there's one following it. He's nipping it. Oh! Look at that dark sky up there. Looks like it's going to pour rain. Gee, that'd be different. That'd be unusual. Got him. Oh, I had a touch. Something hit it. Will he come back? I didn't feel much weight. He might come back. Didn't see him. That fish will be able to see that soft plastic. Oh, there he is. Oh, he hit it. I saw him. And I felt a really sort of gentle touch. It didn't feel much weight. Got him. Oh, that was a much harder strike. He gave it a decent old whack that time. It's hard to fish the soft plastic slow when the sun. He's on it. Got him. Oh. He got off. Ooh, that's interesting. Could that have been from the barb? I 100% hooked that fish. That wasn't, the first couple were just strikes, and strikes don't always hook up. But that last one was a hook up. He was on and he got off. Can we blame the barb not being there? Oh, big one, got him. Right, now let's see if this one gets off or not. Keeping tension on him. Oh, lovely fish, lovely fish. I saw a flash and then bang, he was on. Look at that, he's just pinned in the top of the mouth. I'm going to try now. It's quite a cool day today, which is good. So I'm just going to try and drag him up onto these damp rocks like that rather than reaching in. He is a ripper, and I haven't even got a phone with me to get the photo. Have a look at that. What a ripper. All right, first of all, let's just see. Wet me hands. Very fat and healthy. No, don't go back in there, mate. Let's see how easy the hook comes out. It should just pop straight out because it's got no barb. And come on, mate, open your mouth. Out it came. Straight out of the top and into the bottom. There we go. No problem at all getting the hook out. It's a bit tangled. Right, let's get some release footage. Now that is a good trout in anybody's book. Wow. I don't know how far we would have got to see him swim up there in the murky water. Now I'm excited. Now, I'm excited, as you would expect, and as any trout fisherman would be. Now, I said I was going to fish the pool at the car. 100 metres of creek and 2 trout later, I've decided I'm now going to head upstream to where the water might be a little bit clearer. I'm heading up to where the water is much clearer. Isn't it funny? Even though there's so much water and it's quite murky, the trout are still seeing the soft plastic. They were seeing the copperberry minnow, and they're seeing this black coloured nymph, no worries. This is my first trout fishing adventure since the big floods, which are still happening. The river in Wangaratta where I live is still well and truly above moderate flood level. Right, now I've made my way upstream, but I haven't seen the creek yet. How's the water looking? I don't know whether to stay with the nymph or go back to the micro minnow. It's a lot smaller up here, and the fish are usually quite a lot smaller too. I'll stay with the nymph for now. I'm just going to cast up the back because it's a really nice looking pool. And it's got me, oh, had a strike. Can I say it's the nicest looking pool, and oh, there's a fish just rose at the back there. It's the only really nice looking pool in this area, a little one on it. Got him, and I missed him. So I might not get another chance after this hole, but we'll see. Little one fell on it, tiny. I think I might go back to that micro minnow. Ideally, an organised bloke would have a micro minnow in his bag in this colour. I like this colour, but I like the profile of the micro minnow. Right, little copperberry micro minnow back in action. There's an awesome little plastic for these really small streams. Got him. He hasn't got off. He's jumped around a bit and he hasn't got off. I think when you're fishing barbless, where you going, mate? I think when you're fishing barbless, it's important to keep tension on the line. The micro minnow has struck. He's actually hooked under the mouth. Look, pops straight out. Maybe. There we go. Might try for a bit of underwater release footage again. Nice little trout. Cool. Now that fish was just hooked over here, so there is still a chance that I could catch a second fish in this pool. The commotion from hooking that fish won't have spooked the entire pool. Would have spooked anything down the back, but if there's a fish up there where that just landed, it might not even know that I'm here. Got him. Oh, done him. Had one on, had another one on. Will he come back? Got him. Yes. He did. It was a lovely fish. Bigger than expected for up here. I think these above average rainfall years, like what we're experiencing this year, lead to better growth rates and bigger fish, pretty much. More food, bigger fish. He is a ripper. Second biggest fish of the day, and a good fish in anyone's book. The hook just popped straight out as it's supposed to. Awesome. Let's get another bit more underwater release footage. I enjoy doing that. Righto, Trouty, off you go, mate. Woohoo! In these really little streams, even the smallest of backwaters like this can be productive. And it was, oh, and it was. There was a hungry fish there. Look at that, eh? He's back. He's hit it a couple of times. I'm literally casting that 3 feet, look. Barbless jig heads when soft plastic fishing for trout. What's the verdict? Well, the jury's still out. One thing that I do know is I didn't lose or land any more than what I would normally with the barb still on the hooks. The landing to losing ratio was about the same. So I think it's definitely worth considering. But one thing I do know is that every single fish that I hooked today swam away wonderfully and is very, very healthy still now. I think this is a great system and I'm going to use it again next time I go trout fishing with soft plastics. Thank you all very, very much for watching.